Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a little bit more about demons. Now, my channel is centered around angels primarily, but I can't talk about angels and not talk about demons as well. Now, I did go into some demonic beings in my earlier videos, but it was a while ago. I think I talked about what Native Americans call the Wendigo, which is basically some lower level demons that suck your energy, and also they tend to lie to people, telling them that they are another entity that they are not, but they lie to people so they can stay close to that person and um basically drain them of their energy. They can be very successful at this because they tend to target people that are either very new to the craft or any type of magical tradition, or they tend to go in and uh, try to attach themselves to people that are going through a rough patch, meaning that those people are mentally, emotionally, physically in a weakened state. Or they're just really good at disguising themselves as an energy that you want to work with. Some of these lower level demonic beings can be parasitic beings, but some of them are actually beings that don't have kind of like their own energy source, which means that they have to get energy from something or someone else, as opposed to higher level demons who do have their own energy source and they actually don't go around siphoning people off their energy. And this is because some of the higher level demons that we consider uh, in this contemporary timeline as demons are actually some are deities, and some are angels, some are fallen angels, and some are actually elemental beings. All of these beings that I just mentioned all have their own energy sources, or they get their energy directly from God, Source, the Goddess. So our modern high level demons don't actually need to siphon energy from humans or anything else. Some of these quote unquote demons are also representations of planetary energies. And we all know that planets tend to have their own sources of energy and they don't need humans for energy. We can look into Lucifer as an example. So, Lucifer, depending on how you look at Lucifer, Lucifer could either be a fallen angel, if you look at it from the religious perspective, and him being an angel, even though he was fallen and he was the angel that started the rebellion, he he kept the integrity of his soul's core, which gave him energy, and he does not need to siphon energy from people. Now, if you look at Lucifer as an ancient description of the planet Venus, then you would look at this entity or this energy as taking their energy directly from the sun, because the sun is the one that shines their light on our different planets. We can also look into Lilith, which we can see in very different lights because she has a few myths and legends to her. But the earliest accounts of Lilith is as a Sumerian goddess that basically did whatever she wanted and did not follow the rules of the other Sumerian gods. In terms of history, she was later merged with other goddesses and other negative beings, such as Lamashtu, until she became the Lilith that we know today. But if you just look at her earliest beginnings as a goddess, then you will realize that as a goddess, she actually does not need human energy to be or create her own energy, because gods and goddesses create their own energy. Either that or they are very connected to the source of our creation, and that's where they get their own energy. And then we can go into Satan. So, Satan has a few things accredited to it that were not originally part of it. But I'm only gonna focus on the first time that we see the name Satan, which is actually Satan, which means adversary. So this energy, who is an adversary, was actually just an energy that was depicted as being in front of the court of God as a type of lawyer who may go kind of like against the other party, but at the same time was working under God, or should I say for God. And what was Satan's purpose? Satan's purpose, one of them at least, one of the purposes, was to test you, in the sense of, have you learned your lesson? And can we now go on to the next phase of your life? Are you ready for the next phase of your life? I am testing you to see if you're ready. Can you go through this certain experience? Can you carry this certain baggage in preparation for the next thing that's coming up for you in your life? So that was one of Satan's purposes. And Satan only did this because God told him or her, I'm not entirely sure. Usually Satan is described as a masculine figure, but it could also be feminine figure. I suppose. But Satan did this all under God's guidance. And if Satan did this under God's guidance, then who is Satan getting their energy from? The only logical thing would be God itself. So Satan does not actually need your energy. It gets it from God. Now let's look into Azazel. I think that's how it's spelled. Wait, let me check something. I'm sorry, it was Azrael. Azrael, not Azazel, Azrael. So Azrael is the angel of death. But in some religious texts, Azrael is considered a demon. Although nowhere in any text does it say that Azrael is a fallen angel. Now, what I'm guessing is that in some instances, the angel Azrael was likened to the figure called Mot, M-O-T, who was a Canaanite god of the dead. I'm sorry, and who battled the storm god Baal, or who we know today as Beelzebub. Bezel. I'm sorry. But anyway, so what I'm thinking is that because Azrael was likened to this Canaanite god, in some instances he is considered a demon. Whether demon or angel, neither need to siphon energy off of people. They have their own energy sources, their own cores, soul cores. If not, then they can directly get their energy from source or God or the goddess. We can also look into Satan, or the original Satan, who was an adversary and not described as a demon until much later in history. Satan was actually just an adversary, and he was usually depicted kind of like within a courtroom, working for God, but going against, let's say, you in front of the court. Let's say that you are the quote unquote defendant, and Satan is the lawyer of the other party. And why would Satan do this? So, Satan, one of the purposes of Satan in this context was to test you. Test you in the sense of, have you learned your lesson, and can we go now into the next step or the next level of your life? Are you ready to take that next step? Are you truly ready? Do you really want what you said that you wanted? Do you really want it? Tell me now, so I can let the universe know, I can let God know, so that they can give it to you. Are you really truly ready for that? So Satan was testing you to see if everything within yourself was aligned, so that God and the universe could help you the rest of the way and help you into a new chapter of your life. Now, as you can imagine, or as I mentioned before, Satan is working for God, meaning that if Satan is working for God, Satan is getting their energy from God itself, or the source, or the goddess. So Satan doesn't need to siphon energy from any human. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I, as a channel that talks about angels, and as a person who identifies as an incarnated angel myself, why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because, for the most part, these quote unquote higher level demons are not actually what you were taught that they were. They actually are here to keep the balance of the universe, similarly to what higher level angels are here to do. If you don't know, higher level angels, such as Archangel Michael, while they can help you and they are seen as angelic and nurturing and all of that, they have another side of them, which is they can destroy you, they can destroy whole cities, they can destroy whole groups of people. And while a lot of texts say they do this in the name of God, they actually do this in the name of keeping the universe in balance. And that's what these other higher level demons are here to do as well. One of the things that they're here to do is to keep the universe in balance. And obviously, these higher level demons cannot do that if they depend on humans for their energy. That would just keep them in a type of survival mode, the same survival mode that lower level demons are in. And if these higher level demons were kept in survival mode, then they wouldn't do what they need to do to keep the universe in balance, to keep all of the energies in check, and to just keep everything in harmony. I'm not saying that you have to jump up now and go work with demons. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just saying that there is another side of things that we were not taught in the classroom or the church or wherever it is that you were taught that demons were evil, society. There's another whole side of it that has been kept secret for a reason. And now I just want to let you know about it so you can come to start to come to your own conclusions. If you get anything out of this, I just want you to remember that not all demons or quote unquote demons want your energy. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you on my next video. Angelic Blessings. Bye.